No speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. Yes, there is no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. They can talk, but they can't show no blows. The higher the monkey climb, it is the more we will expose. So I said no, 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 no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. I said there's no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. They all fight against me without a cause, but I will never stop living up to my master's laws. No speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not one single word. I said no, 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 no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not one single word. Talk, but they can't throw no blows. The higher the monkey climb, the more we will expose. I said no, 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 no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not one single word. I said no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. No speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. Yes, there is no speech, no language where man's voice is not heard. Not heard, not heard. Father, hear every word. No speech, no language. I said no speech, no language where the voice is not heard. Not heard, not one single word. I said no speech, no language where man's voice is not heard. Father, hear every word. No, 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 no speech, no language. Nada.
Greetings, today with you. Things and Times with the upon a reflection. We want to also make some corrections, some serious corrections, in relation to Joseph and Jacob, his father. With Joseph, there was 11, and his 10 brothers is the ones who ill-treated him. So Benjamin being the last, and Dinah, his sister, their sisters. So we have Judah, Benjamin, Simeon, Issachar, Levi, Reuben, Asher, Dan, Gad, Zebulun, Naphtali, and Dinah, and Yusuf. Yusuf complete 13, but 12 brothers. Also is that Joseph, Yusuf, so we say Joseph because of the thing, because of his ability, as we expounded very clearly, to translate or interpret dreams. He was given this position, and we are reaping the benefit, if you but understood, for yourself and not through your pastors and priests and everybody, all the facilities that we have in relation to food, water, and irrigational system. Joseph, salam, may the peace and blessing of God Almighty be upon him and his ancestries, until we all meet. And famine, what we know is famine and droughts and everything, was dealt with because we had storehouses and so forth, so there was food for when hardship times come every season. And there was water because we have reservoir and everything for the citizens, the general population, and for the irrigation of the agriculture situation, the agriculture grounds and farms and so forth. And distribution, warehouses and stocks and everything we have today. And all of this is with the courtesy, the wisdom, and the knowledge from Joseph, salam. And I just looked up today and I see that these people who call themselves Christian, they are acquainted with Islamic terms, because them use the word Yusuf, the title Yusuf in relation to Joseph. And I'm like, wow. So then I go on my phone and I do what those people in Speaker Canada's do these days. And I didn't go Google, I just went to the dictionaries and so forth. And then I have Yusuf. You see? So don't know who for writing. It's just we, the African Caribbean, continue to follow the people them. Now there's another issue in relation to Africa, because we're there upon reflection. And we're going to come back also to the Bible, but we're going on reflection because I want to play these clips. Zimbabwe, them charge the political establishment make Mugabe to be some devious or something person. Now, the people them who represent Zimbabwe right now, they've taken Zimbabwe back into the British hands. They take Zimbabwe back into the colonialist hands. Them come to England and go to Chatham House and sit down and get their permission and tell Chatham House what them are deal with and how they're going to deal with the election and so forth. And these are young people. You see, these people these persons were chosen by England. So until Africa stand up and do what Africans want to do for themselves, whether them fall down, just like when we're babies or not, should be the African way and not to be made as delinquents and juveniles, not able to think, act, react for ourselves. But then there's a clip that we will play, and the people them who live in South Africa, the Boers, them white people. The reason that them step off is to allow us to do something, and they're doing something for themselves. And then they make us look like delinquents. We don't know how to handle, because obviously the majority of the international connections has been orchestrated through them, because they were managing and governing South Africa. And when the West wants to sanction, that means they're not working, and they're not going to collaborate or cooperate with whoever is controlling the institution of government. And the South Africans now is making it clear that the people them that was in power when they allowed, or in office when they allowed them, were corrupt, and they don't have no we don't have no understanding of governance, management, and so forth. And I've always kept trying to say that there was a reason. I'm not blowing my trumpet. There's a reason behind what they did and how they did what they did. Because it wasn't like the ANC won the general election. It was the Western world is saying we acknowledge Mandela because they did not want an overthrow in South Africa where them asked the Boers them to get out. So they were appeasing the people. And Reagan and Tasha and all of them, and the Senates and all the politicians in the House of Lords and Commons and the American Senates, they were working on this. And the ANC, I won't say they got excited because Entebbe, him did look the part. But besides wearing suits, they needed to have an agenda. And people that will look at South Africa today, they're looking at the white South Africa. Because where the black people them live is very much the same of 40 plus years ago. It's in the areas where the Asians and the Malaysians and all these people have something going on. Because you remember, they weren't looked upon in apartheid. It was just the Africans that was abused and offended. Now we're spin, and now we see these young people them or suck the toe of some young British people. And the British is happy. They should be, because then pass the torch on to a next generation that is continuing neocolonialism with ease and fun and laughter. Wow. So where are we? And then them come with this new thing them have, that they want Africa, particularly Africa, to accept, and they're very careful in saying nothing pertaining to the Bible. They're just saying that they don't want no homophobic, and if you don't comply with what we want, we're sanctioning, and we'll make all our allies them understand that. What threats What threats? And then we're going to have some stupid of our own people shouting out about China. And then we'll say, wait, is China taking us against God? Is China confusing our morality? Is China dictating a sinful life for us? And that's when you find out that there's a whole heap of roast breadfruit among us. Because the man make us, allow us to skin out and change the frequency of the sounds. And now we're idiots. So to be idiots now, we want to be, we want to get Grammy Award. We want to walk on carpet. And at the same time, we want to degrade our mother and our sister and our brother at the same time for a few dollars. And most of the time, they don't get no money. Them just get some camera to make them look disrespectful. And then those same camera shots will remind them that you're my boy and you're my girl. How humiliating is that? So we're not maturing. We're not. And if y'all been watching Zimbabwe, you should be asking yourself, if Robert Mugabe was such a tyrannical person, how did Zimbabwe that you get to see now? How that come about? What? Because him dead all of a sudden some light and yo. Diaspora and black people, we need to travel and stop listening to stupid news on YouTube and everywhere. And you don't have the skills or the talent to decipher what the hell these people are projecting. And then you don't even go to the embassy and say, yo, hold on a minute. Tell me something. How your people them a live? You stay in your shubin and drink two this and puff that and everything and the barber shop and I chat some rubbish. And the rubbish you chat is what LB and all of them people are say. Because you regurgitate what they're saying. One time we had Trevor Phillips. We don't have him again. Him still there, still alive. But we don't have him again. Because we disrespected him. And him don't have nothing to do with us. So who do we have over there that we can call an authentic journalist? Everyone that come that look like us, them say something about terrorism and when them call the thing genital mutilation to get some points, get some recognition. They don't come with truth. Or them drop a thing showing you say, watch, me's a Christian. Me not a Muslim supporter and all of that. And they don't champion the thing to say, watch, racism is what I kill with. And police hostility and brutality are kill with children. They don't work that way there. So when you reflect and look upon us, we have a whole heap of roast breadfruit. A lot of Rufuses. A whole heap. So that's why I stay with Joseph and Moses. Because if we can't recognize that with all the wrongs that his 10 brothers did to him, and the faith that his father have in God, And then the faith that Joseph also have in God, and the righteousness of Pharaoh. Yes, stop let these things keep going the wrong way around. Because if the Pharaoh wasn't good, there would be no Joseph to talk about. And if the Pharaoh wasn't a man, there would be no Moses to talk about. And I mean a man, a human, that have conscience. I know Moses worked hard, really hard, to God, to make him use his faculties and his morality. But he wanted to be a done man. Him not following fathers. Him not adhere to righteousness. So the story is about what? Bad behavior. Extreme. Now extremism, extreme bad behavior and intolerance. Further by injustice inflicted upon human beings, just like himself. And his selfishness. The same issue that happened to Cain. Nobody never chat to Cain. Nobody never turned around and said, Cain, do this and do that. Cain had a feeling. Where him get it from? And that's what God asked him. But him brother, when him tell him brother how him feel, him brother said, do as thy feel, but serve God. That's what him brother tell him, you know. And him brother said, I'm not afraid of you. So it wasn't like his brother was challenging him. But if you see it in the sense of a spiritual conversation and still of a physical conversation, then, right? And what these English people do, they always put things in a physical context. And then write the thing like if Cain and Abel was having some argument. They write the thing like Joseph and their brother had this hatred. They have animosity. But why didn't they highlight why or how it came about? Because they didn't want to kill their brother, you know. They much prefer somebody else did it. Like the animals rip him apart or somebody kidnap him and carry him away. So them not see him again and the father don't see him again. Because if they wanted to kill him, them could have killed him. There's 10 of them. So that wasn't in their minds. They just wanted him out of the way. Now, why did they want him out of the way? They were jealous. Now, does that have something to do with who? The father. His actions and reaction. His actions and reaction. There are 10 of them and just one of him. And I'm sure so much niceness to Joseph. And make the others them feel away. And they did. That's also an example for us. Whether it's in games or whether it's in children and so on. Or we portray ourselves. Because if you keep showing your son this and that and everything because he can play football and he might be making a couple million and everything, you met the rest of the children or the other boy or the girl, them feel so that they're not worthy of you. Because everything you do, you're actually doing with that child. You carry the child out here, there, and everywhere. You don't have no money to give me, but you have money to go buy shoe, trainers, tracksuit, sweatshirt, and everything. You're in and out the park because you want the boy to keep practicing. Because in your brain, you can see money. But you not see the rest of the children. Until you can only see money, you don't feel say you do something wrong. So there's lessons. There's so much lessons to be learned. Despite Joseph building supermarket, enlightening us to develop supermarket and so forth. But then they don't tell us that the Pharaoh give him such a big position in Egypt. They try to tell us that Joseph was a slave. And he weren't. He was not. Again, he was not. He was taken into Egypt and sold. Now you have to look and see, how did he get into the Pharaoh's home? Hey, come on. So you're going to say because Pharaoh them enslaved everybody, so our slave had to go through Pharaoh. What's wrong with you all? Now we're going to play the Zimbabwe election permission from Chatham House, which is here in England. And then we'll come back and ask you all, why when I call Jesus Lord? Why when I call Jesus Lord? And from once that Lord word is being used, when I then turn it into meaning and listen to the preacher man them and the Christian Orientalists, they might tell you straight that Peter and this body called Jesus, they don't say Christ, because I don't know who this Jesus is, but them say him called Jesus Lord. And Jesus supposed to say to him, have I not been with you so long and you don't know? And they're saying that what he's saying here is that I am God. And I'm saying, where you get that from? And then they want to go up at Genesis and says that he was ordained, he was ever. And some of the time Moses attacked, him attack about Jesus. And Jesus is the Father. He was the Father then. And then when the Father sent him, listen to this, he was the Son. But when him grew up now, he was doing the Father's work and he become the Father. And me I say, wait, how you think like that? And this is pagan-minded people. But you have to read about the pagans. Read about Europeans and their mysticisms and their theory of a God as our deity. And you see that they're light years away from the Greeks. But they're on the same platform. They're on the same platform. They're nowhere near the Mesopotamians, but they're on the same platform as the Greeks. At least the Greeks. The Greeks them just had a whole heap of deities, a whole heap of symbols. And they love themselves, natural, but them choose people among themselves. Zeus and Ray and Ray. But unless you know that, you will not understand that these people have tricked the world. So we're going to come back and ask you, how did this Jesus become Lord? And what is the significance of the title Lord? And we have Lord Mountbatten, we have Lord this, that, Lord Christopher, and Lord Elijah, and a lot of holy people. And it's ranks. We have a lot of lords. House of Lords, we have a lot of lords, titles in England. Yes, if you didn't know, check it out. Go on your phone and your tablet and look up the title Lord. Because when we come up, I'm going to just drop that one and we're gone. So here what now. Listen, Zimbabweans, these young people that come sell out and put themselves back again for white approval. Them don't want to go toilet by themselves. They don't want to think for themselves. Huh? Yes. And whether they were able to clean themselves, the British have grabbed them because most probably they were educated here. And now they seized the opportunity to say, listen, we're going to take this place back. And this is the right set of people to do it. Because the man who knows us, all we have to do is erase him. He's already dead. All we have to do is prohibit anybody who want to pass on his torch. Huh? And that can be easily done, you know. Because if you don't have access, what are you going to do? You'll be out there like us in the side street and everything, a hoo-ha here and everything, to get some attention. See? And that's what they did in South Africa, if you all didn't see. Okay. Things in time, reflection, we're there with you. Come. And listen carefully, make notes.
Honourable guest attendees, all protocols observed. I'm Knox Chitio, Associate Fellow here with Chatham House. And on behalf of Chatham House, I'd like to welcome you all to this discussion on Zimbabwe's 2023 elections. We are really honoured and delighted to have you here. As we all know, before I proceed, just to say that this event is fully on the record. As we all know, in 13 days' time, Zimbabweans go to the polls to elect representatives of their choice for the presidency, for parliament, and for rural and urban council. So this is an important time, it's a momentous time for Zimbabwe, for Zimbabweans, also for the region, and for the globe as well. So it's a very, very important time. More than 6.5 million Zimbabweans have registered to vote for this election, and that is a new record. 2018, there were just under 6 million voters. So I think this attests to the importance of the election and the desire of people to have their voices heard. The question, though, is how many of those who are registered to vote will actually turn up on the day. That will have to be seen on the day. So as Chatham House, we engage very much on Zimbabwean issues. Those of you who know us, we engage with government, with opposition, with civil society. We've had a number of programs and initiatives in country and now here in South Africa. So we are delighted that we are able to host speakers from political parties and also those who are engaged in the electoral process. So the economy is going to be one of the keystone issues for this election. There's no question about that. And voters will make their decisions based on how they feel things have progressed over the last 5 years for them in terms of lives and livelihoods. If they feel that their lives and livelihoods have improved over the past 5 years, they will vote probably in a certain way. If they feel that their lives and livelihoods have not, then they may vote in a different way. So certainly the economy will be very, very important. But there are other factors. This is not a one-issue election. There are different variables which will inform voter choices as they go to the polls on the 23rd. Some of it may be with regard to party loyalties, or they may want to vote for new parties. There'll be a lot of things which voters will take into account. These polls really are a culmination of an electoral process which has been ongoing over the past few years, and it has included by-elections over the past few years, and they've also been primary elections within parties of who their nominees are going to be. And these have thrown up some surprises. So we may expect, as ever with elections, some surprises from the 23rd and for the next few days after that. The fundamental question, one thing we should, I think, acknowledge is that a few days ago in Harare, the parties signed an electoral peace pact. And I think it's something we do need to acknowledge. I think we need to commend the parties, and I think the churches brought them together for that. We hope the pact will be implemented on the ground, but I think that is an important development. So the voters, this really is the time for the voters, and it is a Zimbabwe season. This election is attracting interest not just in Zimbabwe but from outside. It's a Zimbabwe season. One of the key questions I think that the voters will ask is, if you want my vote, what are you going to deliver in terms of lives and livelihoods for me and mine, and also for the country? What are you going to deliver as a candidate, as a political party, for me, for our community, and for the country as a whole? Can you deliver growth? Can you deliver the various things that you are promising, and how are you going to deliver it? So the fundamental question that voters are really asking is, tell us why we should vote for you. And every party, every candidate has got to answer that question from the voters. On that note, we have with us today for session 1, 5 representatives from 5 of the contesting parties for the elections. We are most honored and very grateful for you that you have made time to come here and join us today. We are really, really honored. These are 5 of the contending parties. We have party principals and also spokesperson and secretary generals for 5 of the contending parties. We are really hugely grateful to you all to be here. At the moment, we are missing one of the speakers, which is Maddock Chiwasa from the NCA. I believe he's en route, and hopefully he may be able to join us a little bit later on. Fingers crossed that he can. We also acknowledge it.
So now you can understand that all the candidates are chosen and approved by Chatham House. Then they're brought in front of them and are told how to present themselves, how to conduct themselves, and how to amplify themselves. See? What's this? A little children. See? And then they will announce to the world that the elections in Zimbabwe was a free and fair, just election. And if you remember at the front, them say it's all about the economy, which means if you tour our lines, we will allow you back in the exchange. And we will accept your economical growth and projections. We will relieve you of the sanctions that we've placed on your economy. And we also relieve the sanctions on imports. Once you are here to us, and of all things, you must give back the land to those who occupied it during the period of Mugabe and others and before him. But they're not going to say that here. I've listened to all of it. You understand? It reminds me of after I've got my job and the director of education and the secretary and all these different people, and it wasn't just me, all those individuals who were appointed, and in County Hall, there was a sitting, and they were telling us how we should be conducting ourselves, what our duties, and the fact that we're representing the government and representing education. That's what it was about. And we was there to listen. And we were given several packs, several folders. And we were instructed that we must read all of them. And then by the end of the week, we must sign, we must return back here and sign all the appropriate documents which would assure them that we intend to comply by all the rules and regulations, and then we'll be sworn in. And then we'll be sworn in. Because we have to conduct ourselves in a particular way and manner before and agree to it. Yes, this is England. This is England. And you got a degree, you know. So the degree don't tell you so that you can control your destiny, you know. If you want that particular job, you have to adhere to the criteria. And you can't go back chat them either. So we have to sign so many documents, and it's about duty, responsibility, character. That big word that is used, transparencies and legalities, and so, oh gosh, man. Oh, yeah. I remember that very well when I was listening to this. I know that they come back here to England, Chatham House. Now listen to this one. This one gonna run your stomach, your blood pressure.
Dr. Pozo, this is where I come to you. I really want to take a look and see where we are as a continent. Have we progressed in leadership? Have we stalled? Or are we moving backwards? Let's address where we're at in terms of leadership on the continent.
Let me put it in this context.
Yeah, we speak Africa now. We're not talking about England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. They are speaking Africa in relation to Africa. See? Queen Elizabeth left her son the head of the Commonwealth. You understand? So why France try bloody the nose of, and America try threaten and everything? They're all together. And Charles is coming from the Christian perspective. Watch and see. Listen, not watch, listen. I don't take the chance of playing the video before the black my thing. Right? On Tuesday, them black the whole of that program. So the things that them say, me mute it. But guess what? It was Bill Withers. Ain't no sunshine. So, me have to mind the words me use and the songs me play that go along with the words me I use. Because me I throw some licks here and there to the international audience that's meant to be family and other people. You understand? Because I have played Bill Withers before him passed on the other platform, and nothing never get black, and nobody never, me play me love the song, and me love him as an artist, and the arrangements and everything. Yeah, man, his arrangements, the musicians, them and everything. So, when they want to try highlight that it was that, I'm saying, wow, that means a whole segment gone, because I thought, so well, they're going to take down all of the songs, them, can we play 3 pieces? But a hymn and our daddy, our brother, has passed. So what, isn't his family entitled to some PRS and everything? What? Sometimes I don't get these things. So I had to try and listen to the words that I was using, but through them block it. When it come back now, I don't know if I did the wrong thing or the right thing, because I needed to listen and say, well, hear what? You dash words over this, and then you play the tune, and the people them link. So I don't know. Because sometimes them say this one they can't go to Iran, Yemen, Russia. So me I think like, oh yeah, what wrong with these people? You understand? Which Russian sit down and listen to some black man and listen to some reggae music, which I don't know. And Iran. You understand? Sometimes people give me so much joke, man, I tell you. Right? So even though me small and me taller, you know, them still they just lick my heart. So when I get the notification telling me so that them block it, they not block it in some country, you know, them take it down. You see it? So I go in there so now and me look for the spot and say, well, yo, mute that then. And they did. And usually it takes all 24 or 48 hours, you know. Cause not just me. YouTube is a huge thing. And with less than half an hour, less than 25 minutes, right? It was back up. And I'm saying like, wow. You see? So we have to understand sometimes that we must work like the Indian, you know. You know, the native people of America, they say the white man in a fork tongue. So me better use my tongue like a spoon and not a fork. Yeah, lesson learned, things and times, boy, may I tell you, bright over here, no? Oh, gosh, man.
Dr. Pozo, this is where I come to you. I really want to take a look and see where we are as a continent. Have we progressed in leadership? Have we stalled?
Yo, you see this person is speaking? It's a Caucasian, you know? This is no we as in African. This is a Caucasian. This is no we as no black person. You understand? This is no we. This is we as in Caucasian. You understand? I'm telling you. So if a person want to turn around and tell me, say me racist, no. And if I was to be racist, I learn it from you. You understand? But you have to give Jack him jacket, because you talk for we about we. Which we? Come out and go to your yard, wherever your yard in Europe. You understand? And stop this we business. Say you.
Dr. Pozo, this is where I come to you. I really want to take a look and see.
And I know that Zainab Badawi, she can speak this way now, but she's Sudanese. You understand? And by now you are supposed to know her. You see? Yes, she studied here. You know what I mean? She's a great graduate, very intelligent person. She was leading the news. You understand? You know her. And she have great command of the English language. Yes. So don't get it twisted. It's not her.
Dr. Pozo, this is where I come to you. I really want to take a look and see where we are as a continent. Have we progressed in leadership? Have we stalled? Or are we moving backwards? Let's address where we're at in terms of leadership on the continent.
Let me put it in this context. It's 65 years.
African man.
It's 65 years since Africa has began to gain independence. Since 1957, when Kwame Nkrumah led Ghana into freedom. But if you look at him, up to Mandela later, Sankara, who fought Bonnier and everybody, they had a set of circumstances which faced them. And they had a vision about the continent. That's why I talk about vision. It was to decolonize the continent. Those are their set of circumstances. What Africa is facing today is leaders with no visions. They have no visions. What do they want to do about this continent now? What do they want to do about our economies? President Mugabe was telling me about a Chinese company which took a chrome asset and devalued it after 10 years to lower values. Is that what we're all about? It's theft at the state level. We're selling our wealth to those who used to steal it. Now we're just giving it away like that. They don't have to steal it anymore. We are giving it to them. We don't beneficiate our minerals, right? We don't grow our economies. we steal like hell from the taxpayer. African countries have been riddled with corruption. Ghana itself. That's why that guy who became president then took the politicians and shot them in the river. He was fed up with corruption. Our own country is throttled by corruption. South Africa is throttled by corruption.
Yeah.
There's always been at the municipal level unaccountable billions of rand. We must start here at home. We are not accountable. We've got a bunch of thieves ruling us.
Strong words.
You understand? That's us talking to a European convention. And you remember more than who was in power then? George Bush. And them claim Africa and African ministers, presidents and prime ministers to be corrupt. And that Nigeria is the most corrupted country in the world. And Minister Louis Farrakhan tell him to shut them out. And these were journalists. Huh? And him drop it upon them. But the journalists, him should have dropped it upon the country. But nevertheless, that's what happened. So now we're in 2023, and they're trying to reclaim the political institution of South Africa. This is what this one is about. So now you have these people that say, listen, they're all corrupt. And if you see him in a Dan suit and a crisp white shirt and a crisp blue tie, I don't know if he's conservative for England. You understand? And it's not what he's saying is not authentic. But shouldn't he be saying that to the AAU? And so? And then when you go to the AAU, you have white people inside it too. So we don't know what strength the AAU have. And then them have the intelligence and the memory to recall Kwame Nkrumah. But him don't like him country, Ghana. Him don't like what the political institution there is about. He opposes it. And then him also a throw stone and him have a glass house at South Africa, because the whole thing is to say that you all have your time. Zimmer come him do this, blah, blah, blah. But they don't talk Entebbe, right? Because like I said, there was some light shining. So it's about the new change. And this is Prince King Charles's structure out of England, Chatham House, and these places. Why is we hear about some war brewing up and some bloody noses and so forth with America and France and our brothers them and Namibia? And the people that go bully them, and at some point we go hear say that somebody go get assassinated or is placed in exile. Yes, oh gosh man, them already probably plan for kidnap him and exile his backside in Guantanamo Bay. He thinks I joke, me joking. My forward thinking, you know. So, I make you know say, we still there upon Africa and we never left it. And we still there upon infrastructure and we never left it. And if you go to Africa right now, you see infrastructure go on, rapid across the continent. Infrastructure. You understand? And a great deal of assistance from the Chinese with infrastructure. There's pitfalls with the Chinese, and I'm saying it is what I approved and how much land space me give them. Right? So, them need us. Because we have the experience of the negotiation that took place here in Margaret Thatcher's term in England. And she used her head. And we can teach our brothers and sisters on the continent, not about the street, the political ones them, of that strategy that Margaret Thatcher used. But infrastructure across Africa is, it there. Infrastructure is like wildfire, Astaghfirullah. Yeah? Everywhere, infrastructure development. Everywhere. You understand? And it's not just roads, it's property. Huh? And you can go to places like the same Ghana and Nigeria and everything and see so much projects and Zimbabwe that was initiated by them, and England was meant to be helping them. And what them do? Them carry it to a spot, to a point, and then them bail out a lot of unfinished properties, unfinished warehouse, unfinished buildings, unfinished. And when you check back, it's more than 50 plus years. England, bastards, unfinished, and they were paid. Because they don't want we to be prosperous. But when them there are Dubai and Bahrain and everything, them complete all the work. And it's still money. And them come 50-something years after Nigeria and Ghana. If y'all did not know. Yo, Michigan Smiley, say.
Peace, love, and unity. My desire of the African community. So without any apology, without integrity, give thanks and praise unto His Majesty.
Yes, why we here? A jump boat and a plane amusement. Caucasians them is huge in numbers and doing huge work and development on the continent. And all we are dealing with is plane amusement and skin up and disrespect our mothers and our daughters. Yeah? And then you got some ignorant ones that leave England and some parts of the Caribbean. And I got on the continent, Gambia and these places, and want to set up dance hall and jazz and soca and dancehall on the beach and safari, daggering and all kind of nonsense. Huh? What kind of people then? So then if the people them turn around after a certain time and run with the backside out, and I go say, I'm not a friend, them say, why you not run the Chinese out? Yo, it's not about Chinese. It's about us disgusting, mad head people. Huh? And you see Africa as an opportunity to do lawless shubing work. Huh? But you go there and set up safari, sex farm, safari, daggering, safari, X-rated nonsense, and all kind of dance on the beach and dance here and everything. And people want school and medical facilities. What nonsense? We need school. We need teacher. We need teacher. We don't need Africa don't need a craftsman, you know. Africa don't need a craftsman. Africa need teacher and doctor. I don't need a damn liar. Need teacher and doctor. Everything to do with welfare services. Yes. And people want to deal with motor mechanic, engineering, technologies, not just computer. We need some architects, civil engineers, lab technicians, by the millions, not one and two person that are talk. People that work. Not goddamn dancehall and safari this and safari that. Nonsense. And you got all the Caucasian, them got some big ass businesses and everything. I run things. And we are England about, we are watch Manchester United, Arsenal and Tottenham and all kind of nonsense and get all angry and frustrated and everything and still spend so much money and gear and that kind of thing and spend the rest of the money about, watch the games them live and, our priorities is so confused. And then when I tell people, say, Africa, Afaway. You're lying. You're lying. There's nothing else to say, really, but it's lie and lie. And maybe you don't know it. Anyway, we'll go back to 12 Tribe Israel now, man. We'll play some, name? Delray, and we're gone. You know what I mean? We have a nice tune for the Diamonds, but it's a party time, and party time is not now. It defeated everything me just say. Yo, come, Delray.
My resistance is getting weaker. I just can't stand the pressure. I can't be any weaker. I've got to find some other treasure. I need nothing to be a big man because I was born man.
Yeah, listen to the lyrics. You know what I mean? Don't think he's a hypocrite, you know. Listen to the lyrics. You're joking, man. Listen to the lyrics. What happened to you? Clean out your ears.
My resistance is getting weaker. I just can't stand the pressure. I can't be any weaker. I've got to find some other treasure. I need nothing to be a big man because I was born man. And I deserve the right to be like any other man. My mind is in such a state. Sometimes it makes me sick. At times I try to hate, but I just don't know the trick. I need nothing to be a man because I was born a man, and I deserve the right to be like any other man. Oh.
politically, men, you understand? And we love we women. We have to respect them. You understand? Yeah, man, and protect them too. Not disrespect them and disregard them. No, stop that.
You coulda run as fast as you can. I'm gonna catch you. You coulda run as fast as you can. I'm gonna catch you. You coulda hide until you can't hide no more. I'm gonna find you. You coulda run as fast as you can. I'm gonna catch you. You coulda run till you can't run no more. You coulda hide till you can't hide no more. You coulda run till you can't run no more. You coulda hide till you can't hide no more. I'm gonna find you.
A big sound that, Yo, Marcia, long time in a play, Yo, behave yourself, girl. You know what I'm saying? So, you want me? Pray for them. Pray for them. Not them, for us.
Lord, I'm weak, but give my strength to sing and someone now. Help those who are weak. Forgive us our daily sins. Help us to find our daily bread. Please show us the right way to overcome all our enemies, oh Jah. So when they come around, we don't have to use no guns. We'll defeat them in the name of prayers. I'm not telling you, we roots and we rockin'. Steady as we play. We roots and we skanking. Lord of His mercy, not now. We roots and we rockin'. We roots and we skanking. Music is a key to my happiness, yes. Help those who are in our distress. Many rivers to cross, many places to see. Upon a solid rock is where I place my feet. Lord, please show us the right way to overcome all our enemies, oh Jah. So when they come around, we don't have to use no guns.
See, at that we are saying, so we want some peace. You understand? America and William, France, let off and get out. We want some peace, man. We can control for our own destiny. We don't need you in the toilet. I take care of we. We're able, we are capable. See? Yo. So, we'll play this one for the Mighty Diamonds. Forget the party time. Just, you know what I mean? We miss them Monday. And we would always miss them, because, whoa, it's not like them retire, man, kill them. No, one died and one got killed. Yes.
Oh,
don't think I want to play you right now, you know. But I tell you, you don't fit. You don't fit. I don't fit your tabby. Seriously. Burning Spear, are we gone? Yeah.
He don't want no more.
Yeah, the rhythm sweet, you know, the rhythm sweet, but in a fit, you know what I mean? No, it don't fit. It just doesn't. Yeah, Winston Rodney. Oh. A 1975 rhythm, you know. May I tell you? And before me go anywhere, in terms of education, we are the our young girls, them, young ladies, yeah man, positive vibration, and congratulations to all those families. And alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, to all the Muslim sisters, children, yeah man, and their families. And all them Somali young ladies, yes, them bust up some ears, them, and them drop some ears. Yes, right? You understand? And them have decisions now to Oxford or Cambridge. Yeah, what? In England, you know, they have decisions to go Oxford or Cambridge. They're not knocking at the door saying, oh, I would like to come. No, man, they have decisions for make. You see? Yeah. And some of them already been invited, you understand? Yes. Yo, flying colors. So down here in my constituency, hear me now, Muslim sisters, them every year, them just keep the standards up, you know. Yes, man. You understand? They keep the standards up every year. The young ladies. The boys, them not doing too bad, but they're not up there. You know what I mean? They're not up there. Them get, something happens to them. Them get distracted in their puberty. They get distracted. And we need to try find out what it is. Because them can leave there and go sixth form and waste some time and so forth. But the girls, in the Muslim community, in my constituency, the girls, they're always flying colors up there. And now all of a sudden the last 7, 8 years, and if we just take 2 out for the COVID, right, which would have been like 9, 10 years, the African Caribbean or British black girls, our black teenagers are doing wonderful. But we have a whole heap still, you know, that they don't see the importance and everything. And the statistics show a whole heap of thing with half a family, you know, all kind of something. And we need to look at that. Because why we give praises to those who have certain distinctions and everything, we have to also give praises to the others that we finish up just like Joseph's father. Giving praises and not realizing that we still have 10 children. 10 children. So praise without raise. That was happening. And 10 of them I said that, you know. Yo, we not get no praise. So we can expect any raise when we're not getting a praise. And them say, so who's getting the raise and the praise? Them said that Joseph. Look what Daddy got game. I said, what? Daddy got, listen, Daddy got buy him and got made a nice coat for him. Really? I saw it. And then all of a sudden, all of them, bless them eye upon it. Yo, them feel a waster. You see? So all them children, them, who did not get the recognition of A's, but them get some C's and D's and so forth, you know? B's, C's and D's are 5 and 4 and so forth, right? We love one still. And I hope the parents, they must show them that still, because everybody have gained something. But those who didn't have to knock the door at Oxford or Cambridge or Eden, we have to big them up. Because I beg them one, we for beg long time. And that's all we could have do. We couldn't beg. We couldn't even see Oxford. We don't even know what Oxford means. Or Cambridge. You see? But our ancestors are smiling. Them said, them beat us when we are trying to read. And then cut out with tongue when they find out we could have read. And then brand with men folks that could have read. And then drop the cat o' nine tail and stretch them. But now look at our great-great-great-great-grandchildren them. Now what they want to know is, are y'all going to take it to the next level? Not in academia. Do something for us. Because sometimes we get all these things, but we don't use it for us. Nah. They don't use it for us. But that's where we come in. We're supposed to set up infrastructure and everything and help those teenagers to have a gap year and let them go to Caribbean or let them go to Africa, a gap year. You understand? So they don't have this notion that somehow them going to get yam with mosquito and this and that, right? So their eyes will do the rest. You understand? Seriously. So we need to fix up. If we fix up and have an infrastructure in England and we take care of health and education and our food and everything, our children will move up. And when time comes, we'll give them praises and everything and so on. Them can take these gap years. Whether they go Singapore, Indonesia, China, wherever, but we want them, as they are children, to go to the Caribbean or to go to Africa. Because seeing is believing. And they will get the sense of feeling also. And that we need to be doing. Other than that, they will just finish up playing amusement, dance, and filling up the place with children. And the talent that them have is not being exploited at all. And they have pure bad dreams. And they're not courageous. By the time they reach 30 or something like that, them said them could have done this and them could have done that. Wow! And there's a lot of if I didn't know. And if I didn't let Michael do this or Jonathan do that, and I did listen to my mother, oh, you understand? Or my grandmother, you understand? I want to spread myself and now have all these children that I can't take care of and my life. And I've got a bag full of A levels and everything, and I've never done anything. I've never used them. If I only knew. Wow. Wow. I tell you, serious thing. It needs to be looked at.
He don't want no more. Bar no good. Can't take it no more. No more. He don't want no more. No more. He don't want no more. No more. Amongst the black congregation. Amongst the black congregation, come let me live it out. Come on, come on. Come let me nice it out. Come on, come take it no more. We don't want no more, no more, no more. We don't want no more. We don't want no more, no more. Every day gonna fire. High. Day and night, bomb explode. Boom, a boom, boom. Too much youths are dead. Who's fault? It's a question I have. Too much youths are dead. Who's fault? It is a question I have.
See, we have people who appreciate what I try to do, you know. They will ring me now and discuss what Winston Rodney has said. See it? Since 1976, you know. See it? Some serious words, serious reflection. And it's all about our teenagers, it's all about our behavior, it's all about our actions in society, regardless where it is on this earth. But we know that these things are endemic among and around us. Okay. But what? People that want what? Football. Football! Mighty Diamonds. Hey, me watch basketball, you know. Don't bother think say me I turn the tide. Yo, I'm a coach. Watch it. See, we're too forward for people, man. Because them people that deal with what? So we ask the question, when the Europeans are use this word, Lord, right? And some Rasta use Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in the personality of Haile Selassie the first and everything. You understand? Because they follow King James and they extract from the son, and we use them terminology now to say that we're exclusive from the ones them who are deal with the whole thing. So we work our thing now, right? We give thanks and praise to the Lord thy God, who's now in the personality of Jesus Christ, now is Haile Selassie the first. You understand? So now, over here, so now you hear them people them say, Jesus is Lord. And this Lord is meant to be a heavenly person in relation to this Jesus, and them say, Lord. But Lord in English literature and its definition is a person who has authority. That's the implication. And control or power. Even a master, not of ceremony like music or conductor, but a master of a plantation, a master of some form of institution, and so forth. And that master title is also a ruler. He's not any person. You just can't come and put your hand upon him and think about you can shove him and talk to him any which way you want. You know what I mean? That not work. Even that you will get 12 lashes. So, Lord in the British, which means Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, is a person of authority and a person of control, a person of that wields power, a person of a master of rules, and also a heavenly person and an earthly person. Now, then put the heavenly on Jesus. And then them use their lyrics to say that when them use the term Lord in relation to him now, is no more the Son of God. He's now God. He's got God attributes. Now, we know that God said no one can see him and live. So, that being said, they want to tell us that was the Old Testament. All these things have relented because now it's the new. And these things are now made possible in the new. But God never said nothing about him coming in the personality of one of his subjects. Not he would have told Moses, and he would have told David, he would have told his beloved Abraham alayhi salam and Solomon alayhi salam. And he would have told Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon the prophet. He would have said, listen here, I've sent one before you, which you all refused to acknowledge because it was me. Nah, it never said nothing like that. And this E, they put the term in masculine form, meaning, to me, meaning that these people are dealing with supremacy long time before we even come to that word. But they're projecting themselves because remember, I said the pagans were trying to find something to attach themselves to. Now they didn't follow Zeus. Anything the Greeks they didn't follow. But they were in admiration of. And they were in admiration of the Romans. So they took, from me, my person, them took from Rome and added to what them had already. And between them, as in the British, and the Portuguese, and the French, and then the Germans, and not forgetting the Spanish, because the Inquisition came, and anybody who were doing other than was tortured and killed. You can ask Joan of Arc. So this Lord, it hook, line, and sink black people. When them call Jesus Lord. And then this one said that Peter said. And another one said that Paul said. And then Paul said, if they don't denounce things from the old and embrace the new, you're not a Christian. Paul, you know, he might tell the Corinthians and the Galatian people these things. That's what he was doing on the behalf of Rome. But who's saying to you this? A black man, that is, I'm not a pastor. I'm a fisherman. I'm trying to be a fisherman. And I like to be a shepherd. But I don't have no flock. And I can get myself a net. And I can get myself a line very, very easily. But a flock, nah. Nah. I would have to superimpose myself on people and get the people them to come follow me. And maybe in the midst of all those people, there's some corrupted ones. And then come and dirty my name. And disrespect my family position. And all these different people that come the other day, them are gone out on pedophilia charges and all kind of things. Terrible things. Wicked people. And they are talking this and talking that. And then project themselves as conscious people. And then you have another one that talk about Africa. He's not talking about Africa, he's talking about Garvey. And he's a Pan-African. I must say that. And them thief the people their money, swindle the people them. And somehow he's got around Africa and the Caribbean. All of these ginnals, these swindlers. So we make one step forward and then some come and take us 6 steps backwards. Because now, who's going to trust me? Or anybody like me? Or anybody else out there? How is that going to be possible? And then we don't have no form of justice condition to rein those people in ourselves and charge them. We hope that the opposition, the opposing, would do it for us. And it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. And there are people who want their money back from that other person. Now, are they going to do that? Now, there's people who would like this other set to go to jail and the people them dash away the key. And you have the teenagers them who are scared, their family are scared to come and testify. Even though them have evidence of malpractices. But about some of people them are afraid of the way we live. And sometimes it's not me that make them afraid, you know. Are people them that they have associated with. May I present some bad face and bad language and point their gun here and there, and the family, relative of the persons, them say, yo, you know what? It's better we just move from here. And we don't want to talk to no law enforcer or anybody. And the people, them get off. They get off. And then come back and use the multimedia platform them and go and like say, them are some done. And the yarn keeps spinning. So this old black thing in the Western man home, it's not working. Not working. We need to figure it out. It's not working. We exploit ourselves. We demean ourselves. And we disrespect and disregard our mothers and our girl children. And then we use our brain and a scam one another. Terrible. Terrible. Deception. So, like I said, we're present to some and introduced to others. So, we'll give thanks and praise. Now, we want to play Justin Hines. Yeah, man. We want I find a old clip of Justin Hines a perform. Yeah? Yeah. Way back when. You see? So I want to play that and go about my business. So hold on to Justin Hines and Cole. Whilst I wheel my tool. Yo!
Oh, what a day of rejoicing that will be when we all can sit here and see. Not be not the takeover, not the takeover. Dreadless be a savior. Not be not to take over, not to take over. Dreadless be a savior. Everyone's having fun, hoping and praying for the day to come. Everyone is making love for the I know that the time has come. Not me, not to take over, not to take over. Jealous be a savior. Not me, not to take over, not to take over. Jealous be a savior. Even school children come from school, stick around, want to teach me the golden rule. Even the birds of the tree sing this song to me, telling me that everyone should be free. Not be, not to take over, not to take over. Will us be a savior. Not be, not to take over, not to take over. Will us be a savior. Woo!
So don't forget me, I say, wash your hands, you know. You see? Yeah. Yes. Wash your hands. So we say guidance, you know. We're gone. Oh, we're not gone. We have to this bust this tune. We're gone.
I love my children. I love the youth of today. Mercy, 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 mercy. give them some mercy. They are the youth of tomorrow. Whoa, don't let it stand there and suffer. No way. No, no way. Mercy, mercy, mercy on the babies of the lane. Mercy, 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 mercy on the youth of tomorrow. You can hear the mothers are crying. You can even walk the street and see the fathers are dying. And no one seems to care. Every man seems to be for himself in his time. Only Tata seems to be for I and I. Mercy, 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 mercy on the babe and suckling. Don't let this.
Yes, so we have mercy. So we have to remember not to forget Moses alayhi salam and Yusuf, Joseph alayhi salam. I tell you. And Isa, get to know Isa from the Quranic perspective, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is the Christ. And we don't know nothing about this word Emmanuel, because the British translation definition is God with us. You see? You see how them patch up things and put things about the place? You understand? Yeah, them have motives. So, we know, we understand from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about Isa alayhi salam, and we know from the Hebrew, yeah, the Torah, you see, we know, you know what I mean, but we don't understand or realize what the implications and the meanings and these definitions that these people put here. You understand? So then you have to understand the ramification of the word, the title, Lord, you know? And just don't let religion or Bible or whatever is now confused, you know, because you want to know the literal meaning, because they're the ones who are putting it here, there, and everywhere, and they have reasons why them do that, because God never called Isa Lord. No. And nobody, none of them disciples them until Paul come on the scene. Lord pops up. Soon as Rome get involved in something, Lord pop up. You understand? You're now our Lord and Savior. Yeah? You understand? And him not come for save, you know. He came to teach and correct. You understand? He came to teach and correct and apply within. You see? Oh gosh, man. You understand? Because the rules, the law, the commandments and everything was already sent. But people are sell it and change it. And he came to put the spotlight straight on it and show how it should be applied. But when I not listen that, because the people are not talk that. You understand? They're not speaking that. And you're not reading it for yourself because you deal with Lord and blood and sacrifice and crucifixion and all of these things. But then you don't even know how he was born. And where he was born. They say he was born in a manger, in a stable. You see? And all these things. And that's not so either. You understand? And then when I'm representing mother from being a baby, when it's still in, I say, wait. No, you said, nah. Right? Because you're being told. Don't listen to these Mediterranean people. Don't listen to them Africans. You understand? But you listen to some European people. And now the same Africans, them, want to listen to Africans, but they don't want to listen to Africans. Them I said them are Hebrew. Oh, so there's another confused state there. And you've got hundreds and thousands of African American young men on a quest. And the quest of wanting to live or know God is a good thing. But knowing about God and not how to live and to be living and have some guidance is a problem. The formula isn't work. We don't know what the formula is. We can't say that's not working. We don't know what their formula is. And this is the problem. So the spiritual meaning of Lord is them trying to say it's God. God's person and a godly character. There's nothing wrong with a character, but it can't be God. The person cannot be God, not human. Because you come out of paganism, you come out of symbolism, you come out of whatever the words them use, and so forth. But you don't come from it. You just use words. You use words. From they left the Latin and then come to this English. Whoa, then become too clever. Then become too clever. Seriously. That's why every so often them say, them have to go to the Greek. But then them tell you we have 144,000 scriptural documents in the Greek, but them only take these ones. So why do you go back there? And where did you get all of these things from? Did God give so much things and then leave it up to these wicked set of people to pick and choose what they're going to use and what they're not going to use? What kind of nonsense is that? And you say, it's God you work with. A lie you tell. And you confuse people. So where I say, with all the lies them I tell, are gone. Guidance. And may God have his mercy on us. Yeah. Somebody send me a heart. Wow.